Hey guys, it's your girl Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. I am so excited to see you guys. It's been almost 3 weeks, literally, since I've been able to grace you guys with my presence. It's been so much going on with tax season, all of the changes with the PPP. Look, guys, we have an amazing topic to discuss tonight. So tonight's topic is why the PPP is not to be played with in 2021. Okay, so if you've received a PPP or you know somebody that has received a PPP and girl, you know they done some shady stuff to get that loan, then you want to tune into tonight's show and also share the video with your girlfriends and everybody else. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick little break, give you guys a few minutes to share the video, grab your pen and your paper, and get down with the nitty-gritty tonight. So one more thing, if you guys are not following me on all social media, please head over and follow me, Folasade the accountant, on all platforms, and Folasade the accountability accountant on all platforms. And don't forget to join our mailing list so you can find out our upcoming guests and what we have going on by going to bit.ly/get notified TMZ. Okay, you got it? You got it. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Hey guys, so we have a lot to talk about tonight. Okay, so if you guys are just coming in, tonight's topic is why you guys should not play with that PPP loan. Okay, so before we even dive in, sorry to all my people on Instagram and everywhere else, so you're probably not going to be able to see this, but you guys have already saw this already. So I'm going to share my screen. And we are going to actually look at this snippet from Houston. And when I say Houston, I mean Houston. A woman was accused of loan fraud. So we're about to start this video right now. Ads, y'all. Sorry. Okay. Have to deal with the ad. I live the lie, love is the crime, it's who I believe in. No need to blame myself, no need to die, I'm only human. Don't hesitate. Time so guys, we're showing the video. If you guys are not tuned in, go to BookRadioNetwork.com to see it live or on my Periscope.
Eric, LaDonna Wiggins, we have yet to hear from her. This business here behind me off Pierce and Baldwin is apparently that of hers. They have since turned off the lights when they saw our cameras. But we're also waiting to hear from her lawyer who's in New York. Still nothing from either of them. Again, what those court documents allege are pretty jaw-dropping.
Hi, looking for LaDonna Wiggins. My name's Myra with ABC 13.
Tuesday afternoon, we went to a home in Cyprus that court documents state 37-year-old LaDonna Wiggins purchased using money she received from the CARES Act. The document says Wiggins received about $3.7 million after submitting 2 PPP loan applications for businesses known as Wiggins and Grams Enterprises LLC and Pink Lady Line. The document states she used the funds to make lavish personal purchases, this home allegedly being one of them.
Hi, looking for LaDonna Wiggins? She's not here. She's not here?
When someone finally came to the door, I asked this woman about the allegations that Wiggins supposedly purchased 2 homes using federal funds meant for business use.
This house and apparently a house for her mom. Is that you?
No.
You're not her mother?
No.
The court documents go on to mention just how much money she spent and on what. Here's just a few listed in detail in these court documents. Over $78,000 on a 2020 Land Rover, over $25,000 at Saks Fifth Avenue, over $12,000 at Hermes, over $64,000 at Chanel, and $204,000 for a business in Houston, nearly $700,000 for a home in Cyprus, and over $248,000 for a home in Katy.
Is there a time that she will be coming home?
Actually, she hasn't called me today, so I'm not sure when she's coming back.
And how are you related to her?
That doesn't.
We never got a straight answer from the person who opened the door. We did see her moments later get in an SUV and leave. Wiggins has been charged with bank fraud, making a false statement to a bank, and money laundering. She faces up to 30 years in federal prison. Mayra Moreno, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Okay, guys. So, as you guys can clearly see, the Department of Justice right now is bringing up several different claims, okay, and several different charges to multiple people. Like, a lot of people are actually being privately, secretly investigated, but they really don't know. So if you guys don't know, I mentioned this last year on the Money Zone, exclusively to all of you viewers, on what you should and shouldn't do. I specifically asked you guys to not create Schedule C's. So automatically with this individual, what they ended up doing was falsifying documentation. So the moment that you do not place accurate information on your Schedule C and then use that Schedule C to apply for the PPP, you have committed fraud. For all of you that do not do your bookkeeping and do not have accurate numbers, and you use escalated or misstated information to get your PPP, then guess what? You fall within this realm of fraud. See, guys, when we're watching this stuff and when we saw this on the Shade Room and everywhere else, right, you were probably thinking, oh, girl, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me. And thinking that she was only being brought charges upon her because of the lavish spending. No, the initial fraud occurred, guys, when she first falsified documentation. So as you guys can recall, I mentioned to you guys several times that it's considered wire fraud and bank fraud, but I had to do a little bit more research, okay? So now, if you guys falsify your PPP application and or also misuse the funding, it is 4 different type of charges that you guys could have brought upon you. Charge number 1, wire fraud. So if you don't know, wire fraud is when someone uses the wires. This includes using the internet or phone to steal money by making false statements. So your false statement occurs prior to you getting the money. That is the application. That is your Schedule C, okay? Then they use that false statement or promises. The penalty depends on the amount of money taken and can be up to 20 years in prison. The second charge is bank fraud. This is similar to wire fraud, but involves making false statements to a bank or other financial institution. So that is also, once again, when she misrepresented or when you guys misrepresented the information that is on your PPP application. That that violation can carry up to 30 years in prison, okay? The third charge is false statements to a financial institution. This law makes it illegal to lie to a bank or other financial institution. Generally, this involves false statements made on a loan application or in documents submitted to the bank to qualify for a loan. So if you guys have submitted your PPP application and you didn't have your bookkeeping in order and you escalated or increased your revenue, then guess what? You've committed fraud. And the fraud is U.S. Code Section 1014, 18, U.S. Code Section 1014, false statements to a financial institution. Then the fourth charge is the conspiracy to commit fraud. Did you conspire? Did you think about this? And many of you guys sat back and thought about this. I'm about to try to get the PPP. I'm about to try to get the PPP. Then you thought about it and you plotted on what you actually needed to do to get the PPP. So the conspiracy to commit fraud, this law makes it a federal crime to enter into an agreement to violate the federal fraud laws, even if the person doesn't actually take any money or make any false statements. The penalties for conspiracy are the same as the penalty for fraud crimes that it is to perpetuate the agreement. So basically what they're saying is that the moment that you guys even thought about lying or deceptively trying to get the PPP, you've conspired and you committed fraud. Okay? Are we getting what I'm putting down right now, guys? Are we getting this? So right now, the individual that we just showed on screen is being investigated. But a lot of individuals are being investigated, but they don't know it yet because their bank account haven't been frozen, because they haven't received contact from anyone yet. The reason why she is being outed was because, think about it, it was publicly mentioned on the Department of Justice site that they're looking for this person. They also brought a case against her. Okay, so that's the only reason why her information is public. But many of you are playing right now with this PPP stuff and you're not trying to do things right. I've been asking you guys for the past 6 years since I've been live streaming, 6 years since I've been doing this Instagram, Facebook, and giving you guys advice to do your bookkeeping. But many of you refuse to take my advice. And when it's needed the most within this pandemic is when you guys said, you know what? I don't care what Folasade say. I'm still not going to do my bookkeeping, and I'm going to try to get this PPP loan. She is not the only one. It might be your next door neighbor. It might even be you. And if that's the case, then I will advise you to start to prepare yourself for the outcome, because the exposure, people are going to be exposed over the next course of the next maybe 5 to 10 years. And see, this is just the beginning of the cases, because the SBA have a right to request all documentation and all of your income, all of your receipts, everything pertaining to your business, so they can now do their own investigation on the validity of, one, the usage of the loan proceeds, and then also the validity of the documentation and the information that you provided them to get approved for the loan. So why should you guys be concerned? Number one, the PPP was brought in to help businesses that were struggling during this pandemic. So if you think about it, the government is going to look at you guys like, oh, she want to go down. Oh, he wants to go down because he did fraud on this loan, the loan that we wanted to help the people, the loan that we wanted to save America and make America great again, the loan that we wanted to help society. Look, y'all, they're going to make examples out of people. And I do not want you guys to be the example. So if you are presently in the process of applying for round 2, please, and you know your information wasn't accurate on round 1, please do not go and say, use 2019 data. I'm hoping you guys grabbing your pen and your paper, because I'm telling you how to avoid 2 fraud cases, okay? I'm telling you how to avoid 2 fraud cases. If you ended up not giving them the right information for the first round of the PPP and you're trying to get the second round, do not say use 2019 information, because once again, another application, another set of loan proceeds will be considered fraud, because you already used that false information on the first round. So don't use it again. The second thing that you guys need to do is get accurate information. Remember, accounting is the language of business. And if you guys do not have your accounting in order, then you're not speaking the language of business. And more than likely, your numbers are inaccurate. So if you don't have bookkeeping right now, just assume your numbers were wrong on your application. I'm going to be honest with you. And so what that means is, if you're going to apply again for the second round, guys, do not use the same data from the previous year. Please submit a new application entirely with the information for 2020. The third thing, they are now requiring more from us, okay? So me and my team were actively submitting multiple PPPs every day, okay? And the first thing that they're asking you guys for the front and back copies of your ID. They're asking you guys for voided bank checks from your bank account, because what they don't want you to do is put the loan proceeds in your personal account like they allowed the first round. So they're requiring you guys to have your business bank account. So if you got that, then you need to go get your business bank account, okay? And then they're also asking you for a little bit more financial details. They're asking you, okay, well, what was your Q1 revenue? What was your Q2 revenue? What was your Q3 revenue? And what was your Q4 revenue? And they're comparing the revenue from 2020 first, second, or third quarter, fourth quarter to 2019. So if you falsify the information, see, this is where it becomes inevitable, because if you lied on 2019 revenue, right, and they still have to use 2019 revenue to compare to see whether or not you incurred that 25% loss, right, then again, you guys are putting your backs against the wall, and guess what's going to happen? You are committing PPP fraud. So guys, if you have any questions, I thought I was about to be in the studio. I was about to say, if you have any questions, you can call 301-237 now. If you guys have any questions at all, you can post your questions in the chat, guys, for me to answer the questions. But Here is a way to tell whether or not you are being investigated, okay? Okay, so if you are being investigated, more than likely, what may happen is that you may receive contact from someone, a federal agent, someone that works for the Department of Justice or so, okay? They may also freeze your bank accounts, okay? They may also inquiry with your bank as to your spending, okay? What they also may do, you may receive a request to say, hey, we're concerned about possible PPP charge fraud. Could you provide me with your business and personal expenses? Could you provide me with your financial data? So this is the thing, guys. Don't go throwing things away and shredding paperwork thinking you're about to hide anything, because really, I've been teaching you guys this for years and years. There's a paper trail. The moment you guys use any type of third-party system for anything, there is a paper trail. They don't have to go through you to get this information. They can go through other individuals to get this information. So it is a paper trail behind you. So shredding documentations won't work. Actually, you're going to incriminate yourself, because what you hiding? Why you shredding? It's like, girl, what you hiding? You know what I mean? So honestly, the first thing that you guys want to do is retain an attorney, because it's not only those 4 charges that can be brought up against you. Now, many of you have added on 1 charge, additional charge, and that's tax fraud. Because the moment you stated your Schedule C, the moment that your Schedule C was misrepresented, you've committed tax fraud. And what I'm noticing, because we still get the calls, y'all. Remember I told y'all last year, we're getting the call saying, oh, I need to do a Schedule C for my business and this, and that. And I had to turn so many people away because I knew that they falsified the information on their application, and they wanted my firm to create a Schedule C to match the lies that they perpetrated. So for all of you that use the PPP funding to boast on your friends, to act like you shitting on people, or you off that money bag, I pop my shit, I pop my you know what I mean? You do all of that, shame on you. That money was supposed to be used for the business. That money was supposed to help you sustain and to help you grow and get out of the water and the pandemic that we are presently in right now. And then they're also pissed because remember, they ran out of money the first round. Okay? So remember, they ran out of money. But did they run out of money because all the fraud that was committed, or did they run out of money because they legitimately gave all of the money to the businesses that represented themselves correctly and ended up needing the money and getting it, which is not the case? They ended up running out of money because they didn't have the protocols in place and the systems and processes in place to differentiate fraudulent applications to legitimate applications, which I can understand because we were in dire straits, and even us as the professionals, we were overwhelmed and overworked. So I can imagine how the SBA feel. I can imagine how the IRS feel and all of the banks' lending departments. But the issue is this, guys, they trusted you. They trusted you to represent your business correctly and submit the correct information. And what happened was this: many of you falsified documentations. And one of my clients on Instagram, he said that there was a whole Facebook group about this shadiness. If you guys are participating in that type of shadiness, then you are conspiring to commit fraud with them folks. And I don't even think y'all even got what I just put down, because it didn't even process in my head. Remember, guys, we just said you can be arrested for the conspiracy to commit fraud. I'm going to reiterate what that is. This law makes it a federal crime to enter into an agreement to violate the federal fraud laws, even if the person doesn't actually take any money or make any false statements. The penalties for conspiracy are the same as the penalty for fraud. Just like they got, what's the guy? The mafia guy. I can't even think of his name. I cannot even think of his name right now. At all. I cannot even think of his name right now. Oh my goodness, off the top of my head. Oh, the RICO case. RICO cases are brought on the basis of conspiracy. Okay? So, all of y'all in the Facebook groups, if you any of my clients in the Facebook groups, y'all asses need to be getting the fuck out of them Facebook groups today. Okay? Because honestly, you really don't know if they're going to them Facebook groups and writing down everybody names and then thinking, okay, well, we're going to just check their bank account and thinking we're going to check their spending and thinking we're going to do this and do this. Now, guys, it's not a crime to pay yourself as the business owner. Okay? The PPP was meant so you can pay yourself and pay your team. Okay? So don't think that, oh, because I paid myself $2,000 this month and $2,000 the last month or $2,000, that's fraud. No, that's not considered fraud. Now, the ones that got the PPP and didn't use it to pay themselves legitimately, didn't use it to pay their team, didn't use it to sustain and to pay bills and to keep things afloat, then you committed fraud. And see, this is where it gets tricky. Did you commit fraud on the application itself, or did you commit fraud on the usage of the funds? And many of you did not sit down with a professional like myself, because all of my clients so far have gotten their loans forgiven. Okay, let me repeat that. All of my clients so far have gotten their loans forgiven for $8 to $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $95, $100,000 have gotten their loans forgiven because I strategically sat down with them and said, hey, this is how you're supposed to be paying yourself. This is what you need to be doing. And this is the amount that you need to be doing that with. We strategically mapped that out, and they strategically went with the program. But many of you hopped on and paid all of them scammers on Facebook, all of them scammers on Instagram to give y'all them fake Schedule C's, and you're now going to be left with the bag. Because I guarantee you didn't pay them legitimately. You probably paid them on Cash App. You probably sent them a Venmo. You probably sent them some Zelle payments or something like that. It is no record that you paid them. And honestly, that invoice may not say for Schedule C for PPP loan. So that means you can tell the bank you paid them for the PPP loan, but they can tell the bank, oh no, she paid me for a consultation. Oh no, she paid me for this. And guess who's left with the bag again? You. So number one, remove your asses from the Facebook group for real, for now. Okay? Even if you are a lurker, remove yourself from that Facebook group. The second thing you need to do is ask yourself, did you submit accurate information on your PPP application? That is from one, your initial information, and two, the financial information. Then thirdly, what I'm noticing is that the people that fraudulently got the PPP loans, they are now amending or trying to submit a tax return that doesn't reflect what they submitted to the PPP, to the bank. I'm going to repeat that. Some of you, okay, are now trying to submit different information for your 2019. So that means you got that fake Schedule C, right, from them and submitted that for your application. But because you know you're going to owe taxes, you are not going to now submit the same Schedule C. That is fraud. And honestly, you guys gave them authority to pull your tax returns. The moment you fill out a 4506T, right, you're giving anyone with that authorization to pull your tax returns. So if you submit it to the Schedule C, if you submitted on your Schedule C that you had a net income of $20,000, that means you will be owing IRS, give me 1 second, $2,825 is self-employment taxes. So the IRS is going to want their employment taxes, their self-employment taxes. So that means you misrepresented your tax return for the PPP, which is fraud. Then you also now committed wire fraud for the tax return as well. So that means you can get 60 years in jail for a $30,000 loan. Because the wire fraud charges to get the loan is one thing, and the wire fraud charges that the IRS can bring upon you, or the Department of Justice to bring upon you because you fraudulently submitted a fraud tax return, is totally two different charges. But nobody is talking about that. Nobody is talking about how you guys were tempted. Okay, and the temptation was there, but because you didn't function your business properly, you had to now do fraud. See, you know, fraud comes when you guys just aren't doing things the way you're supposed to be doing it. People cheat on their taxes because they don't want to do their bookkeeping. They don't want to pay me to be their accountant, so they take shortcuts. People end up committing fraud because guess what? They didn't bring in enough sales. So guess what they have to do? They have to falsify documentations and lie to get money from the government. And then this is the beginning, y'all. The unemployment is coming for y'all asses too. Okay? I'm going to say that again. The unemployment is coming for y'all too. Because in addition to y'all getting them PPPs and the EIDL, y'all ended up getting unemployment. You end up getting unemployment. No shortcuts over here. Yes, no shortcuts over here. We did things right over here. Loans were forgiven over here. But the problem is many of you are trying to take shortcuts. And that is one of my core values in my company. I tell my team all the time, we don't take shortcuts over here, okay? We don't take shortcuts. And that's what many of you guys are doing right now. You're taking shortcuts. And you're now having to retract all of the shortcuts, all of the fraud that you guys are doing. And I know a lot of you are not sleeping peacefully at night. So if you know that you didn't do things right on that first round, please don't even apply for the second round. And if you know you applied for the second round and your documentation was not accurate, please withdraw your application. Don't dig yourself deeper because they're going to make a fool out of you because they're going to say, Your Honor, this person knew that they falsified information on that first PPP application, and they went again and tried to take money from the American people. They went again and tried to cheat us, Your Honor. They're going to use you an example, especially since you're trying to do it twice. But no, y'all don't want to hire an accountant like myself. Y'all don't want to do things right. Y'all don't want to pay to play. Y'all want to just take shortcuts and get taken advantage of. And see, many of you did not even know that 6 to 8 months ago, we could not charge you guys to apply for your PPP applications. We couldn't. We can only charge you guys for the forgiveness part of it. And that's what me and my firm did. We didn't charge you guys to do the PPP application. We didn't charge any of our clients. If you were a client of ours, we didn't charge you guys for that. We charge you guys for the forgiveness part because it's much more involved in paperwork and calculations and things that we had to do. And then honestly, that's when you reap the benefit of it. Of what we do is because we were able to get it forgiven for you. So our fee is warranted. But that's not what y'all doing. What you guys are attempting to do is take shortcuts. Don't do your accounting. Don't have legitimate businesses. And guess who's going to sleep? Guess who's not going to be able to sleep at night? You're going to be able to sleep in a jail cell when you're in there for 15 years. And they ask you, well, ma'am, why are you in here? You look like you're upstanding citizen. You look like you got your stuff in order, girl, everything, right? And you're going to say, girl, because I didn't listen to Folasade. Folasade been telling us guys to do our bookkeeping since 2014, before there was even a major live stream. I've been telling you guys since 2014 to prepare your business for unforeseen circumstances. And this pandemic was unforeseen circumstances. And for all of you that is still trying to get this money without having your numbers in order, then how am I going to ever back you guys up and protect you guys if you just don't want to do things right? It is very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. And I'm very disappointed in many of you because I know there are millions, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of Black people that have fraudulently did this. And I am afraid that you will be exposed because you try to get that free money and live beyond your means. And guess what? They're coming after your ass. Point blank period. They're coming after you. So guys, what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick little break. What I advise you guys to do, share the video with your girlfriends, your bestie. Let her know Folasade talking about this PPP, y'all. Y'all know y'all did something shady. Come and listen to her, guys. She's been telling us what to do for years and years. And the people that's listening, they winning. Okay, my clients, they're winning right now. Okay, the people that's listening, even the clients that are not my one-on-one, but my tax clients, they're winning right now. Okay, but who's winning the most? My one-on-one clients. Okay, the reason why is because some of them are in a position where they don't need the PPP. The income is rolling. They did the work. Some of them got the PPP. The income is still rolling and they're working. Okay, and they're doing things legitimately. They're able to sleep at night. Some of them still got grant money and money that they still sitting on because guess what? They're trying to spend the money the right way for their businesses. But y'all know what I was about to say. Don't want to do things right. Don't want to do things right. So guys, what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick little break. Grab your pen, grab your paper, guys, because we'll be right back. Share the video, and I'll see you in about 1 minute. Well, 4 minutes. See you in a bit. Your refund is not something extra, okay? That's another thing. Y'all see here, not even understanding that if you broke, you do need to find somebody to help you with your coins. I don't know why y'all think that accountants and financial advisors only work for the rich. Hell no. I had to financially advise myself to even get to where I am now. Shit, when I was getting refunds, I had to financially advise myself on how to use the refunds. Like, guys, my story, I used my actual tax refund to build my business. I really did. I had Brim. Brim was born 2012. Started the business 2011, August. I got my refund and I put it right back into the business. I didn't have employees then. I didn't have a big office. I didn't have all of the stuff that we got right now. Right? I put it back into the business. So I had to financially advise myself too. So regardless of how much money you have or how much money you don't have, are you being smart with what you have? Are you going to do right with what you have? Make some investments, save some stuff, start your business, do some things. But the last thing I want you guys to do is just fuck it up. And that's been one of my drinks. That's my little Drake song now. No, that's the last thing I want you guys to do because we're still treading light waters right now, y'all. I don't know when we're going to get out of all of this mess. And I don't see anything happening overnight because there's too much policies happening. They haven't even really niched down and say who deserved what, who's supposed to get what. Biden is putting in so many executive orders and doing so much that they're blindly not even seeing that we're developing more and more problems as we're growing, as we're moving. So that's another story. We talk about taxes. Do not file your taxes via TurboTax. I know you cheapskates and all of y'all like Folasade, here you go again with this nonsense. Y'all know every year I say it because I want you guys to do better. And let me give you a real live example of why TurboTax is never really that satisfying for all of you. Okay, number one. I had a client call, they've already paid their invoice and moved forward, but they called the office, Randy called them and scheduled a meeting with me, right? And so the first thing that the individual and his wife was saying was that they're not certain that they've been able to max Hey guys, so we are back. Time flies, girl, when we having fun, right? Every time it seems like I'm on here and I just started rambling, having a blast. Time flies, y'all. We got like 4 or 5 minutes. So guys, I just want to show you guys that the Department of Justice, first of all, have devoted they've created their own new division, PPP fraud division, right? And so they are actually investigating a lot of people, okay? A lot of people. And so right now, 6 individuals were just charged and indicted and in an indictment with fraudulently obtaining approximately 1.5 million. So let me be honest with you guys. Do not be deceived thinking that, oh, they are only prosecuting or going after the people that got millions of dollars. That's not the case. What they're trying to do is recover the big wigs, and then they're going to start trickling down, okay? So do not think, oh, Folasade only talking about people that ended up getting millions of dollars. No. I'm just bringing those to your attention because those are the ones that are presently being investigated and exposed. They are trying to prevent PPP fraud across the board, even for your 20,000, your 30,000, your 40,000. Because somebody like myself that can't even apply for the second round, my team said it's a blessing. Amen, it is. But I can't even apply for the second round because we didn't have a revenue reduction, right? Then guess what? That money could have been used for a regular loan for me to be able to do anything for my office, okay? Like better marketing, better other stuff. But guys, the point of the matter is this. I'm going to read you guys this really quick. 6 charged in connection with a $3 million Paycheck Protection Program fraud. 6 individuals were charged in an indictment with fraudulently obtaining approximately $1.5 million in PPP loans on behalf of 5 businesses based in Georgia and South Carolina. Oh my gosh, y'all. So on Instagram, they're posting talking about someone offered to do my PP loan for $500. Those were the ones. I'm so glad you guys didn't do it. Hopefully you didn't do it. But those are the individuals that are getting people caught up. You see the post, and I'm sorry to change over from what I'm saying. You guys then saw the post talking about free money. No, guys, it is not free money. They're trying to give that to people that really need it in their business, is going to put it to good use, okay? So they even listed the people's name: Roderick Thomas, Makai, Travis, Keith, oh my gosh, Thomas, were charged in an indictment filed in the North District of Georgia with conspiracy. We just talked about that, guys. With the conspiracy to commit bank fraud. We just learned that. False statements to a financial institution. Y'all, we learned some stuff, y'all. And money laundering. So no, they should not have been trying to charge for that PPP application, guys. Okay? They should not have been charging for the PPP application. Now we are able to charge to help you guys get it forgiven, okay? But they were not supposed to be charging for the initial application, okay? So these individuals were allegedly part of a larger group that together have fraudulently obtained approximately $3 million in PPP loans. To date, authorities have recovered approximately 1.1 million of the stolen money. Okay, so Antonio pleaded guilty, Timothy pleaded guilty, Stanley pleaded guilty, Kenneth pleaded guilty, and Mark pleaded guilty. Okay, and look here, on almost every statement it says the PPP allows qualifying small businesses and other organizations to receive loans with a maturity of 2 years and an interest rate of 1%. Businesses must use loan proceeds for payroll costs, interest on mortgages, rent, and utilities. The PPP allows the interest and principal to be forgiven if businesses spend the proceeds on the expenses within a set time period and use at least a certain percentage of the loan towards payroll expenses. An indictment is merely an allegation, and all defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. But as you guys can see from this case, all of them pleaded guilty. Okay? And so why we're having this discussion right now, guys, is because I want you all to understand that to really get what you want out of business, guys, you have to have your accounting. You have to have your bookkeeping. And I'm not talking about just attaching it to daggone QuickBooks, because that's not bookkeeping and that's not accounting. That is merely attaching your bank account to a bookkeeping software. Let me repeat that. Because many of you think because you pay for QuickBooks, you have bookkeeping. Sir and madam, that is not bookkeeping. All you did was attach your bank account to a bookkeeping software. That does not equate to bookkeeping. Problem number one. So if that's what you guys were doing and you use that information to apply for your PPP, please be very leery, because that is not bookkeeping and that information may not be accurate, okay? Number two, you cannot substitute me with TurboTax and a bookkeeping software. There is no me that you can substitute. Many of you in the Black and brown community, y'all trying to avoid paying an accountant like myself, when this is the reason why we're in the state that we're in right now. And this is why our businesses fail at a very rapid rate. And this is why our businesses cannot really fully qualify for real loans. And this is why when opportunities come like this, all of this funding, we are not prepared for it. Because we just don't want to do things right. We're taking shortcuts. We're cutting corners and doing things that I totally fucking disagree with. And I'm tired of it. I've been coming on here. We're in 2021. I've been coming on here since 2014. 14, 15, 16, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 7 years, okay? I've been telling you guys that there's no substitute for you having accounting. And all of you thought that you can bullshit your way to where you are, and look where you are. Your business is failing. You haven't filed your taxes. You owe IRS a shitload of money. You committed fraud on your PPP. You really didn't qualify for the EIDL, but you still submitted that. All of y'all asses are about to be caught up. Now, because I'm not an illegal attorney, I cannot fight for you. But if you get audited by the IRS, yes, I can represent you. But could you at that point afford to pay me to represent you because you done falsified your tax returns to qualify for the PPP loan? No. And so this is the thing, guys. All of this has a ripple effect. The moment that you thought about fraudulently submitting the application, you conspire to commit fraud and you can be arrested. The moment that you put false numbers on that Schedule C, you submitted incorrect information to a financial institution, which is also fraud. The moment that you receive the money, it is wire fraud and bank fraud. So just for the 30,000, 50,000, 100,000, 150,000, you're going to go to jail for 20 years. And you hope and pray they shorten your sentence. So what are we going to do going forward now, guys? What do we learn from this? Do your bookkeeping, hire an accountant, and stop taking shortcuts. Those are the 3 things that I need you guys to start doing, because accounting is the language of business. And if you're not having your accounting done by someone like myself on a caliber in which me and my team do it, then you are, guess what? Setting yourself up for failure. So guys, the show went so fast today. Every time I'm having fun. If you guys enjoyed tonight's show, please tune in each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ripradionetwork.com. Go ahead on and join our mailing list by going to bit.ly/TMZ get notified. Or I need to know about how y'all get notified TMZ. I think that's what it is, right? If you guys want me to represent you in any of your tax cases, any of your tax problems, call my office. Randy will be ready to handle you. 202-618-1297. But before I go, guys, let's just stop taking shortcuts. Accountants rule the world, and we're here to make your life better, not cause a headache. And stop cheaping shit out and trying to take shortcuts. I'm your girl Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys, and I had a blast. See you guys next week, Tuesday. Have a good night. Bye. all caps, get notified, and look out for what we have coming out in store and all of our guests coming on the show, guys. Tonight was amazing.